we could have easily lost that game. What is happening, guys? It's your boy TC back with another video. So the West Ham game is just finished and what an absolute ball fest. Basically, we could have actually lost that game. The defence again was very poor, and there's no excuses this time round. We obviously made West Ham look a hell of a lot more organised than they were. It was basically down to poor finishing, lack of creativity up front in the final third, but we'll talk about that a bit later on in the video. So just to run through the starting lineup on the day. In goal we had Petr and Wenger reverted back to the back four. In the middle we had Monreal and Koscielny. Left back we had Maitland-Niles, so that was his first ever Premier League game. At right back we had Bellerin. In the middle we sort of had a three in the middle, which was formed of Xhaka, Wilshere and Iwobi. Up top we had Giroud, Alexis as well as Ozil. So basically West Ham came out the blocks very quickly, and they were pressing us. And within the first half they were really good on the counter, and they were going forward. And early on within the game there was an offside goal. That was the Arnautovic header. That was obviously ruled offside. So basically that stemmed off a counter, and the defence was in sixes and sevens. Monreal's positioning was very poor. In my opinion, he had no idea where these players were. Koscielny the same. There really wasn't anyone organising the defence. Maybe, I'm just assuming and guessing, maybe this is based on the fact that these people are used to playing at the three at the back, which means there's always additional cover in terms of if other two defenders are beaten, there's always someone to pick up the slack. However, on this occasion, obviously, we had Bellerin and Maitland-Niles, who had a fantastic game, by the way, Maitland-Niles. However, he did show a little bit of inexperience. But in terms of the two guys in the middle, they should have actually known that they're playing a formation. They would have known anyway that they're playing a formation with two at the back. But it didn't seem as if they were ready and they were prepared to play the two at the back. Monreal, I've always insisted that he's not a centre-back. He's obviously a left-back. And Wenger continues and insists on playing him in the centre of defence. And today, on multiple occasions, we were certainly exposed in terms of him being exposed as a fullback rather than natural centre-back. And he found himself out of position many a times. Of course, the key thing here to take away is we did not lose any points. We obviously picked up a point. But the way that we are going, it's a very poor return. Out of a possible 9 points, we now have 2 points. Obviously, we picked up a draw against Southampton, which, again, that's another game we potentially could have lost. Moving on to tonight, we obviously picked up yet another point, but these are games that I would have assumed that would have been winning. I would have assumed that would have picked up at least 6 points out of a potential 9. Of course, Man United gave us a good game. We gave them a good game. We ended up losing the whole game, but in accordance to these 2 games after that, I would have put down on paper, I would have bet my house to say that we would have actually picked up at least 6 points out of these 2 games. Of course, not to take anything away from West Ham, they played absolutely fantastically. Towards the end, of course, they had to soak up the pressure, but they stayed resolute, they stayed firm, and they obviously didn't concede. And again, that was due to the lack of creativity from us. So within the first half itself, Giroud only had 2 crosses in. Why start Giroud when you're not going to provide him with the service that he does actually require, and the service that actually provides us with goals? Obviously, in the second half, that changed. I'm sure Wenger made a note of that. He would have noticed, him and his player and his staff would have noticed this, and the crosses started flying in. But yet again, we found that they were trying to sort of play through the middle with Jack Wilshere. Jack had a good game, in my opinion. He was the only player that was certainly trying to get something going. Every time he picked the ball up, it was positive stuff. It was stuff going forward. And in terms of the tackles, it did on 3 occasions, if I do remember correctly, he made brilliant tackles that obviously stopped West Ham going on the counter. But again, it did not amount to nothing. Of course, he has obviously started this Premier League game. I believe, based on the performance he has put in tonight, that should cement his place within the first team. But yet again, we will see how Wenger plays it in terms of the rotation. So let's talk about the front 3. So Giroud, again, as I said, he was very isolated. There was no service for him up front. And every time they were trying to play the ball on the ground, he was sort of trying those quick 1-2s, the little flicks around the corner. But those weren't certainly working today. West Ham, they were playing with at least 5 defenders in the back behind the ball. They were playing the 3 at the back formation with Creswell, who was plugged in, who's obviously a natural left back. but he was plugged in as a makeshift centre-back today, and none of that ground football was certainly working today. Our only hope and opportunity was to obviously undo them over the top with the height of Giroud, but again, we did not stick to the game plan. So again, as I said, Giroud had poor service. Sanchez, he's had an awful season. I know he's scored 5 goals. I know he obviously gave us a good couple of seasons, but this season he is not cutting it. I'm not impressed. Today, the same. He was giving the ball away. He wasn't making anything happen. When he lost the ball, he wasn't really closing or chasing it down. He was sort of letting it lie. Again, Ozil had a mixed performance. He wasn't brilliant. His passing wasn't brilliant. He was sort of playing really deep, in my opinion. I was finding him coming really deep to collect the ball and to start to make things happen. Again, Xhaka is the theme, the continuous theme. He did have a few shots really throughout the whole game, long range shots, but it was sideways stuff, backwards, sideways, backwards. There was no intent. There was no confidence in the performance itself. So again, these are 2 drop points. I don't know where we're going to go from here. Tottenham have obviously won tonight, and the teams above us are certainly marching on. The gap and the gulf is going to get bigger. If I am correct, Burnley are currently above us. So let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen. Burnley above us in the league, but of course there is a very long way to go. But I believe we will certainly regret these points that we have dropped. So apart from the Everton game, we have only scored 4 goals away. That's including the 2 from Burnley and 1 from Southampton, and the rest came in the other away games we have played. We've also dropped 18 points on our travels this season. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. I understand the Premier League, it's very difficult to obtain points away, but the team that we do have, the attacking options that we do have, and the attacking talent that we do have, we should be going away and picking up some points. So as usual, guys, please do let me know what you think in the comments below on this disappointing evening. If you are watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do make sure that you do hit that subscribe button. Once again, guys, it's your boy TC from I'm Gonna Talk TV. I'm out.